So here we see I'm not going to call it the slickest application at all, but I do think that there's an interesting example, and this could have been pulled off a lot better, where Eduardo Carpentier goes for a Chancery headlock, which is AKA kind of a guillotine choke, but turns it into a bit of a lateral drop throw. And we can slow down the footage and see, like, when he gets a grip that would get translated to a guillotine by most moderns, he doesn't adjust the elbow down by the throat, and he just keeps it yoked over Thesz's neck, and then just does a body drop, kind of like someone would do for a lateral drop or in judo for the Yoko Wakari throw. Um, but here, the way he lands, it looks so similar to the way that someone would land with a head and arm, like an Andakana roll or a Darce roll. He just doesn't have either of those. He just has the hold on the neck. So the primary value here is a takedown, but with adjustments, could it be a takedown plus a brutal choke? I think so. And I think that's an interesting way to get a top position rather than keeping it on the feet. But even in this video where you can see it was supposed to be slick and theatrical, but Edouard Carpentier didn't really pull it off to the best of his ability, I don't think. But you can still see the potential for just a huge drop and throw with a choke applied. And one of the benefits to doing a choke that's combined with a throw is it's easier for someone to defend a choke when they have base, when they can base out and they can balance. That's why standing guillotines, like, sometimes they work really, really, really well, but other times you see people able to fight out of it because they're able to kind of base out. But when they're on their way down, it's harder to base out and defend those chokes. So if you're like asking yourself, well, why would you combine a throw with one of those chokes? That's one of the reasons. When their body is in motion and they can't really get grips on the floor, because at least not persistent ones, just because every part of their body is in flux and it's moving, suddenly it's harder to defend those chokes. But would that be even more effective if Edouard Carpentier pulled this off with a little bit more momentum and just a higher slickness factor? Yes, I think so. I don't think he pulled this off to the best of his ability. But even imperfectly, I mean, you can still tell that Thesz's body is constantly in motion. And the body that's constantly in motion will, generally speaking, have a harder time defending. So this is, in my opinion, a viable technique for real competitive grappling. And I see techniques, if not exactly like this, then in the same kind of neighborhood in modern competitive grappling all the time. So this is definitely one that's worth playing with.